All right, so your factors affecting elasticity. So your availability of substitutes. So this is what we're talking about. So depending on whether or not the demand will be inelastic or elastic, that's just talking about your substitute goods. So if you go to find Prego spaghetti sauce at the store and they don't have it, your substitute is going to be the ragu that's there or the off-brand sauce that's there. Okay. But what if that sauce is not there? So you have to buy the most expensive one there, which I don't know what would be the most expensive. Private selection, maybe if you go to Kroger. Um, that's going to be whether or not there's an availability of substitutes. So whether or not your elasticity is going to be a higher number or a lower number. Okay. Um, Relative importance. So relative importance talks about whether or not a determining factor affects a good's elasticity of demand, how much you have within your budget to spend on a good. If you already spend a large share of your income on a good, a price increase will force you to make some tough choices. So, unless you want to cut back drastically on the other goods in your budget, you must reduce consumption of that particular good by a huge amount to keep your budget under control. The higher the jump in price, the more you will have to adjust your purchases. Okay. 3, necessities versus luxuries. So, necessities are you have to have that item. You have to have soap to wash yourself because you're going to stink if you don't. Luxuries. Do you have to have the most expensive car out there? No, but you do need to have a vehicle that will get you from places that you need to go to. What else is there? Change over time. So, change over time. When a price changes, consumers often need time to change their spending habits. Consumers do not always react quickly to a price increase because it takes less time to find substitutes. Because they cannot respond quickly to price changes, their demand is inelastic in the short term. Demand sometimes becomes more elastic over time, but because people can eventually find substitutes, it doesn't stay that way. Um, that's basically it for the determining factors. Determining factors are everywhere when it comes to purchasing things. So, when we're looking at whether or not something is elastic or inelastic, um, you're going to have your non price determinants there. So, remember that inelastic is whenever you buy the same amount or just a little less of a good after a large price increase. And elastic is if you buy much less of a good after a small price increase. So these have a determining factor in whether or not your demand is going to be elastic or inelastic. This is where your purchasing comes in with your quantities demanded and you're doing your math and stuff to find elasticity as well. So, discussion question for today. Why do non-price determinants constantly play a role in our purchasing decisions for goods and services? So I answered this for you, so you can go back and watch the video, or you can try to do it yourself. This is going to be your assignment for today, so this is what you would be doing. There's a assignment tab for you to turn this in at, and then that'll be it for today. And then tomorrow we'll talk about total revenue. Okay, bye.